Previously on Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker.
Oh, they can't. I was like, it'd be nice if they could ride on the mount, but
Bruh.
that don't look right. Wait, is this person's name Hippo Toe? I'll do that quest line later during my off time, so I don't have to worry about spending too much time on all this other stuff. Because we got 2 more hours before the maintenance happens, and I want to try to squeeze as much of the story as I can. Okay, I'm guessing our next area is gonna be over there. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll also be able to see Vinette, because I am 100% sure we saw Vinette earlier. Okay, make sure I'm good on value. Cool. Man, and now I'm a little paranoid ever since that one time I messed up. Yeah, I love the music here too. It's so great. Like, I love the daytime music. The daytime music just hits really well. You love the daytime music too? Yeah, it's very chilling. Like, I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but it's very like peaceful and chilling. Just it's a far more better version than what Labyrinthos had. Like, the daytime music sounds so good. Didn't we part ways with Hermes not far from here? Given the size of Elpis, I expect our paths will cross again before long. Yeah, maybe. From here, we follow the path northwards to Notoris. There we'll find one of the Norses which facilitate travel between the islands of Elpis. First-time travelers must be accompanied by someone with the requested permission, which I have previously been granted. We only need to use the device together once, and henceforth you will have leave to use it freely. Shall we? Yeah, let's get going. By the way, do you know if there's any ether currents up there? Okay, 301 northwest, so there's probably gonna be some up here. Like up there. Yeah, every time I play this expansion, like any of the music and stuff that plays, it makes me really want the soundtrack right now. I went back and listened to the first trial theme, and oh my gosh, man, it sounds so good. Unless the need is pressing, I won't be tracking Hermes with my ethereal sight. It's poor manners to spy on someone comings and going in such a fashion, so don't ask. Social convocation notwithstanding, preserving ether requires deliberate and intense concentration, and we otherwise keep our eyes on the corporal world. Here we are. Notice this Gnosis will take us to the Calamios Zaplos, the western island. That is right there, looming large above us. Step this way and we can soon admire the view from above. Alright, sounds good. Yeah, I was eyeing it earlier, the giant platform up there. Am I gonna finally see Heidelin / Vinette? Is she up here? Because I know when I first got here, there was a cutscene showing her with a doge.
I present to you Calamelios Zephyros.
Calamelios Zaparinthos.
Here you will find a number of testing facilities, as well as the observation hub of Poiton Oikos. Right then. Let's begin by...
Huh?
Well, well. An Arraius. How delightful.
Arraius is what they say. He looked like he's scheming something. Oh.
And what, pray tell, is that?
It's a
That's a new species of shark. We approved the concept but a few days ago.
But you will call that a shark.
Sharks are among the most popular sea creatures. Rare is the day when someone does not submit a new concept. At first, they were largely orthodox, consideration given to such things as size and environmental impact, and then a whimsical someone thought to bestow it with flight, another superior intelligence. And then the floodgates burst. Concepts with multiple heads, or arms and legs, and so on and so forth.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
getting absurd. A part of me wanted to tell them to go away and find something else to create, but in the end, I couldn't deny their passion. Here we are.
Hythlodeus, I think you have something else to pay attention to now. Whoa, who was that? Oh, is this Vanette? Looks like her.
That was too close. Are you unharmed?
Is this a younger version of her?
Well now, if it isn't a pair of familiar faces.
Banar, that we should meet you here.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen her.
As I mentioned earlier, the better part of the convocation holds that when we retire is when we return to the star. Well, she is not among said majority. Even after stepping down, she carries on with her work. Vanar is her name, and she is the previous Azem.
Wait, what? Whoa, what? Wait. She was a previous Azem? Wait, so who's the current one besides me?
It has been a while, Hythlodeus. You look well. Less so, Emmet Selk. I dare say the lines upon your brow have both deepened and doubled in number. A shame for one so young. You must make an effort to frown less often.
Easier said than done, thanks to your unruly successor.
How is he, if I may ask?
Incorrigible as ever. Rushed headlong into a volcano on the brink of eruption just the other day. I should be glad to share the tale in its entirety later, if you're so inclined.
I want to know a little bit more about this Azem title being passed on to Vanah here. Excuse me?
Oh, you know I am. Now then, you are?
You feel something, don't you? You know who I am.
I say, have you perchance come from the future?
I knew it. She knows. She knows. Oh my gosh. Let me get my blanket out of the way real quick. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Things just got juicy.
I do not believe we have ever met, yet I sense my magic upon you.
That makes sense.
Therefore, if I wove the enchantment, I could only have done so at a later point in time.
What manner of magic is this, if I may ask?
A traveler's ward, of course. It prevents the corruption of one's ether.
Oh. Interesting. That sounds rather like the blessing of light. It is! Oh, these are both great answers. Oh my gosh, these both are great answers. I'm gonna go with the first one.
I see you are not ignorant to its presence. And while there are many protective spells, the one you bear is unmistakably mine.
Hold on. From the future? That's absurd.
Should I say it now?
What is it? Are you unable to speak of the matter?
The reality to which you must return exists as a result of the final days. You cannot reshape the past to undo the tragedies of the present.
So, your actions here will not change your history, but they may yet affect the course of ours. How very exciting! I'm quite fond of delving into the unknown, and there's naught more unknown than the future. Until a moment finally arrives, we cannot know for certain what will come to pass, regardless of our supposed foreknowledge, so you needn't worry for us. More importantly, that you should go to such great lengths as to travel unto the past bespeaks the gravity of your quest. Will you not reveal it to us? Mayhap we can be of aid to your cause.
That's a question. I don't think I can. Can we?
If this is true, then you've been keeping quite the secret to yourself. As a representative of the Convocation, I will hear it all. Your identity, purpose, everything.
Well... apparently I'm part of the Convocation too.
Why don't we move to a place more conducive to calm conversation? I've been working here for some days now at an old friend's behest. If it is agreeable, we may make use of my accommodation at Poiton Oikos.
He doesn't have time for games. I mean, neither do
We need to
I.
meet. I am certain of it. Else I wouldn't have marked you so clearly and sent you unto myself in the past. It's precisely the sort of mischief I would get up to, and quite inspired, if I do say so myself.
Well, alright. I was waiting for us to meet her finally, and we got to finally meet her. I mean, we saw her in the beginning of the expansion, of course, but as soon as I came here, and they showed a small little cutscene of her, I was like, bring me to her right now. And there I thought you were a harmless stray familiar. As far as I'm concerned, this nebulous talk of future, this, and changing history that can wait, first, I mean to find out exactly who you are and what you hope to achieve here. Heck on, man, calm down. The future, our future, I am definitely curious to hear more. I'm pretty sure you are, buddy. My apologies, but before we move along, a colleague has tasked me with a matter which I'd rather not leave unresolved. It involves finding a certain concept engraved crystal and the quick-fingered Oris which made off with it. Oh, an Oris, you say? I think we might have seen the culprit before. I knew he was scheming something before being distracted by a business with the shark. Would you like us to follow its ethereal trail? That would, of course, lead us only to the Oris. That is no guarantee that it hasn't dropped or stashed away the crystal you seek. Please, even that much would be enormously helpful. While you are hunting down the thief, I can follow behind and scour the forest floor just in case. Could I ask you to join the search? I would appreciate another pair of eyes to cover the land to the west of here. Yeah, sure, let's do it. Many thanks. There's a small bridge leading into Ponte Orcus. Let us meet up there once we have exhausted our efforts. Alright, sounds good. I will be finding ether currents on the way, by the way. Oh yeah, when I was doing my crafting gathering, I got tired of the inventory. So I bit the bullet and decided to just buy another retainer. And it's actually quite helpful having another retainer, to be honest. I mean, yeah, it sucks having to actually pay for one, but I feel like in the long run it'll be useful. Ah, concept crystal. It's right here. Cool. Now we go and find Vana. And his ether current. There it is. Vana can wait. I gotta find all my ether currents first. The problem you present is vexing enough, without adding the old Azem into the equation. And she wonders why these lines upon my brow grow deeper when she herself wields the hammer and chisel. Wow. The Azems, both mentor and student, are a force to be reckoned with. I find them a delicate, personally, but they have a habit of making himself look as if he bit down on a sour grape. That's interesting. All three of us do the same thing. Our last searcher returns. I am afraid the Auras no longer have the crystal, nor was I able to find it as I followed in its wake. I don't suppose you have fared any better. Yeah, I got it right here for you. The crystal. Well done. Wonderful. Now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging at my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things? I'm often been asked to do so. Traveling and searching go hand in hand. Yeah, I like that one. You travel often then? It seems we have something in common. Long ago, when I held the seat of the Azem, I was forever tracking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journey has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor. Yet, I am still eager to come running should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested, my opinions sought concerning the habitat of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate that missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promised to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is the way one thing leads to another. Wouldn't you agree? She got a lot to say there. Wow. Okay. A past not yet come to pass. Vana is a cheerful moon. Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, it's time I return this stolen property. If you would go ahead and to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to that task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard. Well, cool. I just had a crazy theory that just came to my mind. And that has to do with Vana. And Final Fantasy XIV as a whole. What if, with the story of Final Fantasy XIV coming to a close, what if the whole idea of Azem and the title being passed on to several people, including ourselves, and Vana, and whoever this current of Azem is. And the same thing goes with, like, Hades, who's a part of the... Well, not Hades. Emmett Selk, who's a part of the convocation. And I think many members of the convocation, they all reuse that name. They pass on that title to each person. What if, in a way, you could say that Final Fantasy XIV, like, the story is just kind of retelling itself over and over and over again, but with different people. And you can go on with the same idea of saying, like, each person who's playing this game is another time that the story is being retold over and over and over again. I'm trying to find the best way to explain it, but that's pretty much what I'm saying. It's like, my story is one time that the story of Azem in the final days and Final Fantasy XIV's story as a whole being told over and over again. Yeah, so Final Fantasy XIV is the Wheel of Time. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at. I feel like just hearing Vana and her story of wanting to do adventures and stuff at one point of time is kind of leading that theory so much more stronger now. And it's so much more apparent for our characters as well being told in this story. This is a crazy theory I have at the moment. It's pretty much a Wheel of Time. Or the Circle of Life. Yeah, pretty much that. Is that a unicorn that I can fight? It is a unicorn that I can fight. Or a Pegasus. No, that's a Pegasus that I can fight. I can fight a Pegasus? Oh, we are in heaven now. Okay, that don't sound right. I wish I could mount this thing. I would love to mount it. Sorry, Pegasus. You monster. You already know how I am. Anytime I see anything that's unique looking and I can fight it, I'm going to fight it. I gotta see it to its fullest. It's for research purposes. Hermes calling the cops on you right now. Hey man, he's got plenty more. Look, there's another one right over there. There's one right there. And there's like 2 more there. It's okay. For research purposes, I can do this. It's too bad there isn't a bestiary so you can see. Yes! Oh my gosh. If there is one quality of life, thank you for bringing that up, Dying. Thank you. If there's one quality of life that I can ask Yoshi P for, it's a bestiary. I will love to have that. I would love to have that because I love the enemy designs in this game. The enemy designs in this game is so good. And what will make it even more interesting is give us the lore of each one of those enemies that we fight. Or it wouldn't even have to be something like that. Like, you know how the beast tribes are? Like, give us some type of journal or something that we can fill it up by killing the enemies. And then it will give us the lore and the detail of all of these enemies that we have fought. And it will also kind of like have like a 3D model of them. Like, I love when games do that. I love it when they do that. Gosh, man. My goodness gracious. Is there any way, you know, if I can get in contact with Yoshi P in some type of way in a live letter and just say, give us a bestiary. Man, I would love to do that. Oh, snap. They're going... There's another one trying to fight. Okay, I'm not gonna... Oh, he asked for it. He asked for it. I'm gonna run away. But he asked for it. Hyplodeus? Excuse me. You need to be worried and nervous around Vana. Those white robes mark her as one of the fair and impartial reasonings. Aside from the emissary, Elidibus such garb is worn only by those who have stepped down from the public office to serve as advisors. Whatever you have to say, she will listen without judgment. Interesting. So Elidibus had a white robe as well. That makes sense. Because when we saw him, he had a white robe and a red mask. But doesn't the red mask mean they're part of the convocation though? And I thought Elidibus wasn't a part of the convocation. Unless I got something wrong. Interesting. Okay. Yes, this will be far more comfortable than interrogating you on the side of the road. Okay. Welcome to my temporary abode. Please, make yourself at home while I put on some tea. I kind of want some tea right now, too.
A wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
I just realized what song they're playing. This is the Final Days song. During the moment where Bahamut was summoned.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like. Now then, will you tell us your tale?
Oh man, this song. A calamity called the Final Days have befallen the world. The world has been sundered, broken into shards. Mankind is being forced to flee the star. Well, each one of them are pretty good. I'll go with the first one.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
So I'm guessing we're describing the entire story of Final Fantasy XIV. Starting from 1.0 to now. Even talking about the Ascians. But wouldn't this mess up the flow of their time? Oh, we're even talking about Emmett Silk and Shadowbringers. And when we took out Zodiark.
Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
While not the words I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous. What of you, Vanar?
Not knowing the precise details of the first final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did. Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Hydaelyn? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures. Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain, but your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus? In the future whence he came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Oh, I was wondering because I was like, wouldn't this interfere with their possible future? With me just telling them all this stuff? So maybe they were planning on wanting to fix the future for them and all of us.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital and Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
True. I note also that Hydaelyn did not specify a point in time to which he must return. By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
It felt very lucky, to be honest.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
This is quite a puzzle, and we do not have all the pieces.
Hardly any. But we do have one immutable fact. If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that even the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Hydaelyn is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale? Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman.
I mean, you sound pretty angry right now.
To sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory. Worse still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable? Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme. The thought of having to bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren.
But that was the exact reason why you set out to that path. Why we even did all that stuff.
You do not know me. I've had my fill of your fiction. I will return to my duty. and you will not bother me again.
Emmett Selk! Wait!
You've seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to hear them.
Yeah, I feel Dynamis is the key to it all. Yeah, just like...
Ah, yes. The energy distinct from ether. Though not my field, I have a basic understanding of Dynamis.
Yeah, just seeing this cutscene is really like, oh man.
And you say Hermes researched the phenomenon in the course of creating Meteon? Yes. I believe this warrants further investigation. With that settled, just time for action. The missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer.
I hope so.
And suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest.
Oh. I appreciate it. Because I definitely think you will help out.
Have faith. If Emmett Selk is the man Azem described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
I've noticed I'm the only one who drunk my tea. It's probably because I've done a lot of talking. Man. Okay. Shall we begin our investigation then? I am acquainted with Hermes, of course, but only as a visitor received by the chief overseer of Elpis, of the man himself. I know only that which is common knowledge. Thus, I suggest we fall back on the tried and true method of conversing with the locals. The observers who live here can surely tell us more of Hermes and Meteon, and I have a good idea of where we might begin. Alright, well, let's get it. I do like that they played the song for Amarant, which is Full Fathom 5. I do like that they play that song whenever Emmett Selk was having that moment. It was really hitting home whenever I started hearing that song too, and him getting really upset. I was like, oh man, because we know how he turns out. And anybody who hears anything about themselves will deny it at first, especially if it's something that happens later on and they don't remember it or something like that. You know, things like that. People are going to deny it at first. And then, like, later, they'll begin to realize that, oh, I am becoming that person. Yeah. See you, the woman standing in front of the yonder building? Her name is Ismain. She is the one who made arrangements for my stay in Elpis. And from what I can recall, she had held her position here for quite some time. Chances are, she can provide us with some insight. Go and ask your questions. I will help with drawing out answers if need be, but I leave the choice of topic up to you. Okay. Ismain, how you doing? Questions for me? Well, I suppose I have no other pressing duties at the moment. The following event cannot be skipped. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's begin the questioning. We're going visual novel again. Greetings, Ismain. My friend here is desperately curious about Chief Hermes. and I was wondering if you might indulge him. Certainly, Mistress Vanal. Anything to be of service. What do you wish to know? What kind of person is Hermes? What are Hermes' interests? I mean, I kind of know his interests already. Yeah, and I kind of already know what kind of person he is. Let's go with interests. His interests. Well, he is an authority of flying life forms and his expansive knowledge of living creatures in general. Is that what you wish to know? How would you describe him as a person, as a colleague? He is a quiet man, reserved, you might say, and occasionally somewhat poor with his choice of words. His retracent nature, however, does not prevent him from carrying out his duties as chief overseer. I hope that answers your question. Was there anything else? How long has Metron been here? Yeah. I cannot rightly say. As the chief personal creation, Metron has not been subject to observation or study like other concepts. So one day she was simply there, and what do you make of her abilities? I understand that she is highly unusual familiar, able to read emotions and communicate directly with one's mind. Exactly how she was created with the talent, however, is a mysterious to me. My apologies. I wish I could explain her nature in more depth, but I've not had occasion to discuss it with Chief Hermes. Do you trust him? I beg your pardon? I've known Chief Hermes for many years, though I cannot say we are close. He has never withheld information to the detriment of our duties, if that is what you mean. Forgive us, we seem to have veered slightly off course here. Is there perhaps someone else who could tell us more about Metron? That would be Timios. He has a similar expertise with flying concepts and is more than eager to discuss the subject. You'll find him conducting his observations on the banks of a stream somewhere to the east. Oh, and unless you take a particular joy in rambling discourse, I suggest you keep your questions concise. No, we shall keep that in mind. Thank you for your patience and your insight. Think nothing of it. If there is aught else you need during your stay, please do not hesitate to ask. Come, Anthony. I think I've taken enough of Isame's time. Our investigation is off to a fine start, wouldn't you agree? From here, I propose that we split up. I shall continue making inquiries with the resident observers. If you could track down the colleague Ismay mentioned, although I felt compelled to take the reins of that previous conversation, your fearless style interrogation would eventually lead you to the answers you seek. All I ask is that you watch your footing around the stream. We can meet back here once you finish speaking with Timios. Alright? Yes, I am Timios. But please, keep your voice down. You'll startle the birds. Well, I got a bird with me. And that bird is always working with me with no problem. So what is it you wish to speak about? Is it true that you're an expert on flying creations? What do you think of Chief Hermes' flying creations? Chief Hermes' work, a worthy subject indeed. Those beings which soar through the clouds, majestic and graceful, are ever a favorite of creators. Even now, with so many varieties in existence, the flood of newly imagined concepts continue unabated. With What sets the Chief's creations apart, however, is how they benefit from his boundless knowledge of the celestial realm. Birds that climb so high that they disappear from view, others which traverse the boundless sky in moments, and all without riding the currents. I know of none save he who can conceive of such marvels. Even we who prize elegance from a form above all else are dumbfounded by his genius. So Meteion too is a marvel then. My opinion on that matter will be superficial at best. Despite my admiration for Meteion as a concept, I have never divulged too deeply into the inner workings of her nature. I know that she has a gift for communicating via emotions, but otherwise her abilities are a mystery to me. If Chief Hermes should choose to submit Meteion's concept to the brew of the architect, then will the design be registered for public scrutiny? Analyzing a colleague's creation before that step is frowned upon, to say the least. Of course, if he came to me, a fellow artisan, looking for advice, that would be an entirely different story. Do you know any dynamis and intellectuals? Yeah, let me ask him the first one. Dynamis and intellectuals. Those terms do sound vaguely familiar. Was there not a flower made here in Olympus, which exhibit properties of one or the other? It must have been centuries since I'd last heard anyone speaking of such things. Has there been a resurgence in interest? Then why bring up the subject? I'm flattered that you sought my insight, but I cannot afford to neglect my duties for the sake of idle chit-chat. Now, I really must return to my observations. Surely you have your own tasks to attend to. Did I not do so well that last part? Okay. I think I'm fine. Alright, so let's go back to see Vana. Back already? That was quick. You were obviously clever enough to head off any of that rambling Azem mentioned. So, have you any new findings to share? Yeah, I got a couple. They know a little bit. I see, even an expert in the field has little understanding of Meteion's capabilities, let alone an awareness of Dynamis. My questions result in much the same answers. Hermes' colleagues view Meteion as his personal project and could provide no details beyond those which you just told me. Which leads me to believe that the only person with any significant knowledge of Dynamis is Hermes himself. Yes, we've made some progress here, but more information is needed. If we are to reach any definitive conclusions, we're gonna have to talk to Hermes. Witness to the spectacle, Vana is musing over your recent findings. At present, the strongest link we have to the final days is the power of Dynamis and the intellectuals which can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone study them in any depth, except for Hermes, it seems. Thus I am inclined to stay our current course and learn all we can about the chief overseer and his familiar. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you can tell me about Meteion, aside from her unorthodox method of communication? There are more like her. She has sisters. She and her sisters were created to journey to the star in search of intelligent life. Yeah, the second one's pretty good. I rather wish you had mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate? So these siblings of hers now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning. Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unresolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to Peptide Crystalline, not far from here. Just follow the path to the west. Okay. One thing that came to my mind after telling her about her sisters, like Meteon's sisters, I find it interesting that Hermes is keeping all of these creations a secret. Because if he has made several of her and nobody knows of them and he kept them to himself, it's interesting that he's having them go off in the world or go off in the universe in searching for things. It sounds very careless, but also at the same time dangerous. This tower and the one further along are both part of the Perpeturia Crystalline, the facility where they archive all of Elpis' observational and testing records. Despite how they appear from the outside, the interior is actually a vast area of magical interconnected spaces, which, while fascinating, is not the reason we are here, is it? I shall cut my architectural lesson short and see what those two activists or archivists have to share. If you could find someone to speak with over at the other tower, I shall join you there anew. Alright. These towers. Yeah, they're pretty tall. The heck, there's a sprout here? How is there a sprout here? This is interesting. You have a question for me? Certainly, just a moment while I conclude my current appointment. Okay. Indeed. So if you could provide a comprehensive log of those behaviors, we should then have a sufficient data for our official records. Now, what was it you wished to speak with me about? The Chief Overseer Personal Research Project, and by that, I assume you mean Meteon. Such undocumented studies are difficult to track. After all, hardly a day goes by without seeing a researcher trailed by one creation or another. I'm afraid I cannot tell you exactly when Meteon appeared, but only that she now spends much of her time at Chief Hermes' side. Yeah, I've noticed that. Although, I do recall an interesting tale my dearest Galen shared with me. Galen's my partner, and a fellow researcher here in Elpis. She was returning late one night when she caught sight of Chief Hermes sending Meteon heavensward, a host of them. For several days, she would speak of that scene with wonder, describing it as one of the most beautiful spectacles she had ever witnessed. That sounds like a story I should like to hear. Mistress Vana, I thought you had already returned to the surface. Permit me to thank you again for your invaluable contribution to our concept placement proposal. Pray, do not mention it. As you may say, my original plan was to leave after that task, but I have since become engrossed with Chief Hermes' research. Would you favor me with the retelling of this site which so delighted your Galen? Of course, if you could hear it from her lips directly, if you prefer. Galen! At present, she should be observing a subject in Metabroso Talase. Please tell me it's up there so I can get that last ether current. She does enjoy her time there, watching the sea creatures hunt and play, gazing upon the salty waters of the world's oceans recreated in such sublime detail. I imagine you must find similar joy in indulging your boundless curiosity, Mistress Vana, even though such pursuits must continually and regrettably delay your return to the star. Indeed they do. 'Tis a rest well deserved and long overdue, I should think. How greatly have we prepared for the wisdom you accumulated during your travels as Azem. And what would Elpis be without your earlier academic work? The theories you developed serve as the basis of many techniques still in use today. Man is a creature of contemplation, but none embody that nature with as much enduring passion as you. I dare say there are not a soul alive more worthy of a return. I shall rejoice the day you depart on your final journey. I will be honored. Well, shall we take the opportunity to meet with Guyleen in person? Yeah, let's do it. Then allow me to reconfigure the door to the archives here. It will take you up to the Skyway and spare you the need to avoid hostile concepts on the ground. That will be most helpful, thank you. Cool. Vanna is the Beyonce at Elpis. Everyone knows and love her. Oh man, I love that. I can see that. The other archivist said not we hadn't already heard, but this story of Guyleen sounds promising. I have opened a path to the Skyway. Once you pass through the door, simply walk straight across the next tower and ask for admittance to the upper tier. Upon arriving at the upper tier, walk straight across the Skyway and you will find yourself at the entrance of Matabose Talasai. Guyleen will be eager to share her tale with you, I am sure. Oh yeah, we are on top. Cool. I didn't think we would be able to get up here. Why is their name Approachable? Oh, never mind. Approachable Activist. The tower ahead is still part of the proprietary crystal line. We will need to ask for a passage through the upper tier. Yep, I know. Mistress Vanna, just passing through. Then allow me to prepare the path. If you need further assistance, there is always an observer or two on the upper Skyway. I mean, I didn't see the second name, so could you blame me for getting it wrong? I want to look at this. Oh man, that is beautiful. Crazy that I went to all these places. This is beautiful. And the music just goes right well with it. I wonder, can I get up here? I can! Ooh, this would actually turn out really well for like a photo maybe. If these plants and stuff wasn't here. Would it be a great photo if those plants wasn't there. Unhurried observer. Okay. The doors lead into the Talasai, but perhaps we can trouble this person for assistance of finding Guyleen. Mrs. Vanna, I was not told to expect. We would have prepared an official welcome. Yeah, she's definitely Beyonce. Please, there is no need for fanfare. I only wish to speak with Guyleen, if that might be arranged. Yes, Guyleen, of course. I will inform her immediately. But she may be engaged in testing phase. You could be in for something of a wait. Should I let her know your business is urgent? That won't be necessary. This lovely view will keep us occupied until she is ready to receive us. Yeah, this view is amazing.
a delightful breeze, and a breathtaking view. What is it like in the future? Is the world still a beautiful place?
Oh yeah, there's tons of beautiful places. As beautiful as ever. Some parts yes, others not so much. It's more beautiful here. I'll say the second one. Just to be a little goofy with her.
Dark hidden places, rife with danger. Those have an altogether different, but no less powerful sort of appeal. While we wait, will you not tell me about your adventures? Well, not the portentous events which led you here, but the simple delights all your own.
Oh. Well, I guess we could talk about our
By
raids.
learning about the future world, I may gain insight into future me's plans.
Maybe.
But more than that, I have an interest simply as a fellow traveller. Short of going somewhere oneself, there's naught more stirring than hearing another's account.
Let me tell you about all these awesome raids that I've been doing. So, we have a raid in each area. And these raids are awesome too. And you know, they got some of the best boss fights. Let me just tell you, I've been kicking their butts too. Oh, I'm sorry, but they've been really great. And tremendous moments.
Incredible. Would that I could have been there to see it.
Oh, you would have loved it.
Yours is a harsh and unforgiving world. Yet in spite of this, your brethren hold fast to their virtue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did spook her at that one moment.
To know that the light of mankind's potential still shines, even in that faraway place, it gives me heart. Thank you for regaling me with your tales. I will treasure every word. As you know, I was once a scholar. And among other things, I sought to understand the workings of the world. What exactly is ether? How formed the laws of nature? Whence sprung mankind? Riddles and mysteries beyond counting. Over the years, I have managed to find answers to some few of them. Yet rather than attain a sense of mastery, the more I understood, the more I came to hold the world and its miracles in awe. We too are miracles, each and every one of us, born of the warm breath of life that traverses the heavens, swirling through eternity. When I fully grasped the improbability of our existence, nothing felt impossible anymore. If it could be imagined, it could be done. A passion swelled within me, an epiphany dispelling all preconceptions of what was natural and true, and a presence without, immense yet intimate, fate perhaps, holding us in its tender embrace. As reassuring as it was intimidating, how keenly aware I became of creation's fragility, built as it is upon precarious happenstance. I was overcome with an irrepressible urge to know the world more intimately, to hear its voice, feel its breath. I ventured forth on a journey that very day, so very long ago now. Freed from presumption and prejudice, I saw the world through a newborn's eyes. Everything fresh and new. And so beautiful. Lands that stretched on forever. Skies one could drown in. The heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all a people. Beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning, and my purpose, my love. And so long as they need help, I cannot return to the star. Perhaps my future self is still waiting for it. A moment she can let go and walk unto the end. Safe in the knowledge that man will find his own way. You, who are our future, tell me this, and tell me true. Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?
Pray forgive my lateness.
As soon as I was getting ready to give my answer.
My observation subject was rather irritable, and it took a while to settle it down.
No need to apologize. Your work takes precedence. Besides, we had a pleasant conversation in the meantime.
You're too kind. Now then, I'm told you wished to ask me some questions.
Indeed. I've an interest in one of Hermes' creations. Meteon. You witnessed a host of them take flight, yes?
Oh, that! Yes, I did. 'Twas in the dark of the morn. I'd left the Thalassai after nocturnal observation. As I walked along, I spied a bright light climbing high into the southeastern skies. Then, in an instant, it was gone, like a shooting star, only rising rather than falling. But then another shot up, then another, and another. Intrigued, I made my way to the edge to investigate. And who should I spy on an isle to the south but Hermes and Meteon, the Metea, rather. There were lots of them, and I realized they must be the shooting stars that I'd seen.
And the name kind of makes sense with Meteon, because it's supposed to mean shooting star.
A dazzling spectacle indeed. Have you spoken with Hermes about this?
Oh, yes. The sight left such an impression on me that I approached him about his mystery project the very next day. Alas, he said that he couldn't reveal anything just yet, that he needed to conduct further tests. It shouldn't be long now, though. He often returns to that isle, and I have a feeling he's nearing a breakthrough.
Okay.
Splendid. We are likewise eager for the details. Well, that is all we wish to ask. Thank you for taking the time to indulge our curiosity.
You're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with other inquisitive souls. Oh, and will you be descending now? If so, I shall link the doors for you.
Please.
Interesting. Yeah, the name is starting to make sense now, because if she said exactly what she said about them ascending to the skies, like shooting stars, I was thinking about the song Airplanes. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? But anyways, if she says them taking off in the sky like shooting stars, and the name of them is pretty much called Shooting Stars. It fits really well. And it makes me wonder, like, was that his true purpose for them in terms of like their name? And is all their names Meteon? I'm curious what he's gonna share to everybody about them, if they are coming back. So another piece of the puzzle falls into place. From what we've learned thus far, I think we can safely conclude that Hermes hasn't been revealing the details of his research to others, which suggests that either someone will appropriate his discoveries and make use of them, or that Hermes himself will have a hand in causing the final days. Since we have no reason yet to suspect of... Okay, hold on. Let me finish reading this and I will say what I got to say. We should consider the latter the more likely possibility. Proceeding under the assumption, our next step should be to divine why, or even if, he might desire such a terrible fate for our star. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Alright, one thing that just came to my mind. Right after we took out Zodiac, and we had a vision in our mind of the Earth, which is Atheris, and then everything started getting dark and red and everything, and then we heard a voice in our heads. That voice sounds just like Meteon. I just freaking thought about that. So Meteon is... she is part of the final days. So what would Hermes want? Why would he want the final days to happen? Wait, so if Meteon actually takes the mantle of Fandaniel, doesn't that mean that he takes up the name Fandaniel as well? Which also leads to the point that the Fandaniel that we met and fought is actually Hermes. Oh my goodness, that is starting to make sense. The only thing that I can't think of his reasoning behind any of this is Hermes. Why would he want to do any of that? Oh my goodness gracious, man. Okay, well, we need to hurry up because maintenance is getting ready to happen. Okay, we got 30 minutes left. Yeah, what do you got next? Worthy of his back. Vinod has a new course of investigation in mind. I should like to visit the site from which Hermes sent forth the Meteor. If we are fortunate, we might find some hint of what drives this research of his. Galeon said that she spotted them in the southeast, rising from an isle she could see from the edge. If we stand at that same vantage point, it should not prove too difficult to locate the isle in question. Let's take a look, shall we? Yeah, I definitely think that Meteon and Hermes has something to do with the final days. And I definitely heard Meteon's voice. If it may not be this Meteon, but it has to be one Meteon. Maybe one of the Meteons that travel through the stars. But I definitely think it's at least one of them. Oh man, things just got so much more interesting. Okay, am I ever gonna go to that island up there? I'm curious if I will ever go to that island up there because I want to get that ether current. I mean, there's the island right over there. Now, if I were conducting some mystery research, where would I go? That beautiful island over there with the cherry blossom tree. Ah, what about that one? Have you the means to fly? It's quite a distance away. No, not yet. Inconvenient, but hardly an insurmountable problem. To me, Argos. It's Doge! Hey, Doge. My friend, would you mind creating a double to carry Anthony here over to that island? Doge, stubborn creature, there is no place on this great star we have not together traveled, and still he remains obstinate in the presence of strangers. Argos has rather exacting standards, I'm afraid. I met one on the moon, and he seemed very willing. What? You've ridden him before? Ah, your before meeting my after. Not at all confusing that. Interesting. So certainly not unthinkable. But speaking of the here and now, the quick solution is for us to face off in a sparring match. Wait, what? Demonstrate to him that you are capable of holding your own against me in battle, and you should convince Argos that you are worthy of his back. And besides, I might even teach you a thing or two into the bargain. Okay. You seem doubtful, but useful lesson or not, it will certainly be a moment to remember, a memory of the distinct past to cherish. What say you, traveler of time? Choose your battlefield. I will do what I must. If this memory turns out to be a bad one, well, choose your battlefield. Let's go. Freaking Doge. Yeah, this Doge, baby. I admire your confidence. Clear your mind and prepare your weapons. I will await you at the clearing over yonder. Alright, let's go. Oh, I saw people here earlier, so we're gonna be fighting there. Okay. Well, let's go, Vina. I'm gonna talk to Doge real quick. I know his name is Argos, but I like calling him Doge. The entity is identical to the one you encountered in Mar Laboratorium, except this Argos is pointedly ignoring you. Yeah, true. Alright, Vina, you ready for this butt kick? Shall we begin? Be warned, I will not go easy on you. Didn't I tell you how many enemies that I have fought? I have told you all of my encounters. This music. Alright, well, let's go.
Let neither side hold back.
Okay. What is she? Oh, she's a paladin too. Interesting. I didn't think of her as a paladin.
My blade sings!
I could do that too. Oh, you gotta be quicker than that. Oh. Oh. Oh no. I got smacked by that. Alright. Nice moves. Okay. She's got some moves. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, we're good. Haha, not fast enough. She's pretty good.
Impressive. I shall have to try something different.
Yeah, maybe. I like this music selection you probably have too. Oh, she turned into a dancer. Oh, so she can do my stuff too, but except mid-battle.
No
Interesting.
quarter.
Okay. I see this. Not good enough.
Have a taste.
Okay. Okay. Oh, what the heck is that? This is cool. I'm just admiring her dancing right now. Okay, nice dance moves.
You won't be easily overcome, but neither will I.
Well, good. I was hoping for a challenge. Oh, white mage. Okay, white mage this time. Let me guess, you're gonna turn to almost every job. Well, whoa, I did not see that there.
Prepare yourself.
Oh, snap. Okay, okay, okay. Dang, she got some moves. Dang, girl, I didn't know you could move like that. Arms length, try that again. I ain't going nowhere. Perhaps it might be good if I heal. What the heck is all these AoEs? Yeah, let me heal real quick. There we go.
We've only just begun. Come at me with your all.
Well, I'm doing it. Halfway on your life too. She's back to Paladin, okay. But this again. Okay. Oh shoot, wrong button. Okay.
Very well. Let us move to the final trial.
Okay, so I gotta take out these things. That's one. 2. 3. Here's the last one. Haha, try that again. Is that all you got? Oh, no, more? Okay, there's one here. She's pretty good. I'll give you that. But not good enough. Oh, I totally got hit by that. Oh well. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then I gotta prioritize whatever one seems the most powerful then. Okay. She's definitely gonna be able to power up. Maybe. Maybe. She got one, like... Oh, come on. I ran out. Oh well. It's okay. More of them? Okay, then. But nah, I didn't think you were the one to be spamming... You spamming the same old attack, huh? Okay. Oh, and you're faster this time, too. I just had to open up my mouth. Whew, got it, just in time. Is that all? Or is there more?
Break your chains, shed your burdens, and show me your strength of will.
I didn't know this turned into Final Fantasy 15. She got Noctis abilities.
You still stand. The people of your time are more resilient than I had dared hope. I
Wow.
have seen enough.
You're really good. Dang. Okay, Beyonce. She's real good. That was awesome.
'Twas my intent to finish it, but clearly I underestimated you.
That's right. I'm the warrior of light and darkness. So. Yeah, she's a queen.
One would think I never learn. I made the same mistake with Azem when we first sparred. Despite being less than half my age, his strength was astounding. As is yours. 'Tis plain you have weathered considerable hardship. Far more even than your tales would suggest. It seems we have both learned much on our journeys.
Hey! 2 Doge. Now he trusts me.
Well now, I dare say he has warmed to you. A boon to be sure. He never forgets his favorites, and is ever eager to come to their aid.
Well, alrighty. Nice. I have a Doge. Argos will soon have us standing on the very spot where Metia made their departure into the night sky. With luck, we will learn something of Hermes' intentions. My hope is that we find no connection, no festering wish for oblivion. Then, we might have Hermes and his considerable expertise working for us, rather than against us. Whew, okay. That was nice. But, unfortunately, maintenance is getting ready to happen in 13 minutes. And I don't think I have enough time to complete this next quest within 13 minutes. So, I wish I could keep on going. If maintenance wasn't happening tonight, I would have kept on going. But yeah, tonight has been a great one. Seeing how far we got with this.